What's up? Crowie here, part 11, 50 Cent business lessons from In the Club. Probably a better way to frame that is business lessons from 50 Cent in the Club. Possibly the world's greatest song that's ever existed. What is the world's greatest song? No one knows. I guess it's a very subjective comment. We're going to get through 4 things today. This is the final, this is the finale, this is the end of the road, as Boys to Men call it, of this series. There'll be another series coming out. What should we do next? I thought about doing a Belinda Carlisle series. That, ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Like, do you know what it's worth? You get it? You get it? Do you know what that job's worth? Do you know what that conversation's worth? Do you know what that opportunity's worth? That'd be a great series, probably like a one-hit wonder. Or maybe a Vance Joy series. Your mess is mine. It's like, business is messy. Let's get it tidied up. But what series could we do? I don't know. Hopefully we're not doing a I'm on fire, Bruce Springsteen, you're on fire. There's a fire electrically. You don't want that. You don't want that. Anyway, we're talking about this. This is interesting. I'm going to bang through four quick in succession. So here we go. All right, 50 Cent in his smash 2003 hit says this. I thought that you'd be happy I made it. I thought that you'd be happy I made it. I want to encourage you to celebrate other people's success stories. Don't be too insecure to celebrate other people's victories. Don't be too judgmental to celebrate other people's successes, right? So it's like, get yourself around a good group of people that are happy when people make it, right? Be happy when someone gets that job. Be happy when someone gets that stuff. And be happy for people doing some cool stuff. Surround yourself with some cool people, but you've got to basically put aside your insecurities, put aside your ego, and learn to encourage. Learn to encourage. Learn to encourage. All right. Another one. I'm that cat in the bar toasting to that good life. Here we go. I'm that cat in the bar toasting to the good life, right? Now, here's what I'm saying. Flash forward 5 or 10 years. Maybe you're not a cat. Maybe you're a person. I don't know. I don't know what your dreams are. My little boy Jasper wants to be a black cat because we read all the Magic Faraway Tree books. Anyone without kids is like, what on earth is this guy talking about? But he likes black cats because they're synonymous with witches, and witches are synonymous with spells, and spells can get you magic. Magic. Let's get it. But may the future you thank you. May the future you thank you. You want to be basically looking 5-10 years down the track, looking back at what you did at this point and being like, let's toast to what I did. I did it well. You might not have run the race completely. You might not have fought the good fight to completion. In other words, you're not dying, but you are proud of what you've accomplished in business. You want to flash forward 5 or 10 years, be sitting at a bar, maybe you're having a kombucha, maybe you're having a smoothie, maybe you're overseas, maybe you're in your hometown, maybe you're in your house. And you want to look back and be like, look at that sunset from the view. You want to look at that pool that you're looking at. You want to look at that house you paid off. You want to look at that something. You want to look at that child jumping on the trampoline and be like, I'm so glad I did what I did. Now, one of the biggest traps people fall into is like, I'm too old. I'm too old. And maybe you're 25, maybe you're 30, maybe you're 35, maybe you're 40, maybe you're 50, maybe you're 60. But can I encourage you, if we make a decision that our best years are ahead of us, our best years are ahead of yourself, like in 5 years' time, you'll be older than you are now. So what if you got to the gym? What if you got to Pilates? What if you got to exercise? What if you got surfing? What if you got to jiu-jitsu? What if you got to whatever else people do with their time? The pump track, skateboarding, right? But maybe you want to coach the kids' soccer. Maybe you want to be at the kids' soccer game on a Saturday. I don't know what you want to do, but it's something not too dissimilar to that. But may the future you thank you. May you look back on your time and be like, I'm glad I did what I did. I'm glad I released that admin when I did. I'm glad I pushed hard when I did. I'm glad I pushed smart when I did. I'm glad I got down and focused on those numbers. I'm glad I moved forward without ego. I'm glad I moved forward in confidence. I'm glad I did what I did. I'm the cat in the bar toasting to the good life. And may the future me thank the current me. So what will the future you thank the current you for? What will the future you thank the current you for? Big question. All right, the next one's got some swearing in it if you know the song. I'm not going to swear. It's not really my thing. It says, you that person trying to pull me back, right? We kind of confronted this before. It doesn't say person. It says 3 words that I cannot say for many reasons. But you're that person trying to pull me back, right? We kind of confronted this in a couple of ones ago, but like, get people around you that aren't trying to pull you back. Get people around you that are supporting you. Get people around you that are championing you. Get people around you that are encouraging you. Get people around you that are further ahead than you. Get people around that you're further ahead of. And define ahead. You hear what I'm saying there. So maybe you're better at business, but maybe someone's a better dad or a better mum or a better husband. So it's like, get people around you that are better than you. Get around people that you're, for lack of better terminology, better than, and make each other better. So everyone should be making each other better, and you can't just give and take from the pool. You've got to give and take to the pool. So learn and then teach. Learn, teach, learn, teach. But don't try and pull people back. Be stoked when people make it, and get people around you that will champion your cause. All right, here we go. The last one. 50 said this. This is actually like, I think if you can get this, you can sort of like, this is important, right? He says this. Now I've kind of like clutched at straws a bit here. Like go with me. He says, don't try to act like you don't know where we be neither. That's like the worst English sentence ever. But don't try to act like you don't know what we're about. I guess what he's saying. So what am I trying to pull out of this? How on earth are you going to pull something out of this? I'm going to say this, right? People should know how you act. People should know that you're trustworthy. You should have a sort of a reputation that if someone calls you, you'll get back to them. If someone says do something, you'll do it. If someone needs something from you, you'll get it done, or your team will get it done. You hear what I'm saying? Be trustworthy, right? But people should know what to expect from you. In other words, your character needs to remain not perfect, but relatively consistent. So it's like, this is really important, because the second we start flying off the handle at staff members, is sometimes you catch up with people and like, oh, this staff member, oh, this client, and it's like, how many times can it be the staff member's fault? How many times can it be the client's fault? How many times can it be the admin's fault? How many times can it not be your fault before you realize that maybe what you're doing is a big part of the problem here? So how many times can it be someone else's fault? So we're going to take responsibility, and people have to know what to expect from us. People have to know that there should be rhyme, reason, order, routine, perspective. There should be smartness to your decisions, education to your decisions. You should be basically, like, people should be able to expect that when they come to you, you'll offer them good advice. You're not going to offer them just like, you'll offer them wise advice. But if you can put yourself in a relatively consistent character space, so they always listen, they're not scared to give their opinion, they'll tell me straight up what they think. Also, this is really important with clients. Like, I know people go, oh, when you get to a switchboard, like maybe take a breath and open it and be like, oh yeah, let's have a sales script. I'm like, the sales script for our crew was pretty simple. It was like, this board needs to be upgraded. this board sucks. 1940 call, it wants its board back. Am I right? Like if you can move forward in authenticity, then you can grow a great business. But when you start dropping sales scripts out or replacing smoke detectors that don't need to, like when you start stepping on some gray areas of a reputation, and it's very hard to come back from once people start talking. And make no mistake, you get away with something once or twice or 3 times or 4 times. You might always get away with it. But it's not, the point is that truth stands the test of time and lies are soon exposed. So it's like, you want to make sure that you're on the right side of consistency, you're on the right side of authenticity. Are you going to be perfect? No, but define perfect, right? It's like, what is perfect? No one is perfect. But if you make a mistake, whether it's to a staff member or a client or an invoice or a quote, put your hand up and be like, let's stuff that one up. I've made a mistake. We've corrected it. I'm sorry about that. This is how it happened. This is what was going down. This is what's happening in my life. Whatever you've got to do, and then you'd be like, let's move forward in that. But you should have an element of consistency to your character, where if you want the best clients, then you want to be the best human possible with the best product possible. That's what you want, because and your product can be awesome, but if you're not great to deal with, I was speaking to my mate who runs a business you definitely know, and you definitely have used their products, right? This is quite a successful company, and someone stopped purchasing their good product, and he had to basically go and be like, why? Like, what? Just you've dropped your orders. What? Can you tell me what's going on? And they're like, oh yeah, we just didn't like dealing with this person. This is their like sales rep, and it was interesting because it was like they have an excellent product, and no one is faulting the product, but this person they felt was trying to push all the time, push hard all the time, and they were a little bit I don't want to say it, but like there was some questionable activity going on outside of that, as well as salesy, as well as like, I just don't want to deal with that person. So just like, I don't have to get into it, but you've got to be someone that people want to deal with. You've got to be someone that people want to do deals with, right? You've got to be that, like, someone makes a phone call. We used to work for this commercial company. Actually, every client we used to work for, a lot of it was just phone or text message deals, right? As probably yours is email deals. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, sure. Hey, can you get out here? Yeah, sure. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, sure. Right? You know, a bit different times are changing. Not writing messages from your 3210 anymore, but the concept is the same. Someone calls, someone texts, someone writes an email, and you do it. And there's the second you break that trust. I remember a couple of times, like, you know, we're not perfect on this. Like, was I perfect? No. Was I pretty good? Yes. And I remember a couple of times someone's like, oh, did you get that thing done? And I'm like, nah. It's like, why? Like, I asked you, you know, why not? So it just goes to show you, so consistent learning, like put your hand up, be like, I'm sorry about that. You've got to basically, one extra text message saying, hey, I haven't done it, it'll be done tomorrow. One extra email, one extra phone call, just trying to sort of smooth the communication pathway out. You will never, ever, ever regret that. But you should be excellent to deal with, right? People should know what to expect from you, and you should be someone that people can trust. You should be someone that people are happy to buy from. You should be someone that you do the right thing by people. No one's saying you can't make money. Everyone's expecting you to make money, but you basically got to double down and make sure your product's great and you're great to deal with and your team are great to deal with. And you might have to call this out in your team, right? This is the danger of offering an incentive scheme when people, and I'm not against an incentive scheme, I'm not against anything actually. There's pros and cons to everything, but if you're offering an incentive scheme to someone about, like, maybe it's a sale of a smoke detector or a board upgrade or whatever, if they're on site, that can be great because it can be super thorough and you're being organized and not walking past stuff. That's a fantastic part of it. But if that person's only pushing that because they get an extra $30 or $40 or $50, it can be questionable. And I think the clients can feel that. Your clients can feel when you're pushing hard for something that is beneficial to you. So it's like, be really, really careful there, tread lightly, but make sure that your staff members can come to you about something, your clients can come to you about something. Make sure you're approachable, make sure you don't fly off the handle, make sure your character remains relatively consistent, not perfect, but on the trajectory of consistency, on the trajectory of soft. Like, you don't want to be that hard-ass, 50-year-old tradie going, oh, I've always done it like that. I've always treated people like this. It's funny, right? But, it's interesting. And I remember my old boss, this is a great example, but my old boss, remember this builder coming to me and going like, oh, the renderer bought us a ham. Like, where's my ham? And I'm like, your ham? You want to talk about your, like, you should get me a ham. Like, I'm the one where you've called and I've turned up every single time. I've never let you down. I've been here. I've done stuff for free. I've done stuff for money. I've done all this kind of stuff. I've looked after you guys for the whole 12 months. Where's my ham? So that's pretty funny. I got that from my old boss, who was like, I'm not getting them a present. They should get me a present. So no one's telling you can't have fun with the whole thing, but you've just got to remain the consistency of character, and maybe people should be getting you more hams, and you can have some fun with that. I don't know what that ham analogy was, but go with me there. All right, so people should know what to expect from you. So that's wrapping up our 50 Cent series. What a blessing. I would encourage you, straight after this podcast, chuck on 50 Cent in the club, blare it up there, and just sing it out as loud as you want, as loud as you want for as long as you want. Maybe the song's on repeat the rest of the year, I don't know. But hopefully you learned some things about business while you had some fun on the podcast. And stay tuned for our next series coming up next week. Peace.